Hi guys, it's Legionero back with another freebie tutorial. Today I want to show you how to make this quick and easy tassel. This is a tassel I made from some faux leather I got from a local fabric store here in Atlanta called Fabric World. It's really nice and soft, and I'm using it to make a couple of bags, so I decided why not make a tassel to go with it as well and make a freebie tutorial. So let's talk about all the tools you're going to need to make this tassel. You're going to need your template, so go ahead and print out your template. There's a smaller template and a larger template, so it's just up to you which one you want to use. I'm using the 3.5 by 7 template, so go ahead and print that out. You're going to need your fabric, whatever fabric you're going to use, whether it's vinyl, cork, leather, whatever you decide to use, you'll need that. You'll need a marking pen. You're going to need some glue. I'm using this Beacon 3-in-1 glue. You're going to need some scissors or a rotary cutter, whichever one you prefer to use. I prefer scissors to cut my pattern and a rotary cutter to cut the fringe. You're going to need a ruler. I'm using 2 rulers. One because you're going to measure down 1/2 inch, and I'll show you that once we get started. And this ruler wasn't quite long enough, so I'm using this ruler to mark my 1/2 inch. And then I use this ruler to actually cut out my fringe. I'm also using some Scotch tape because I like to cut a little piece of this craft paper off and tape it to my cutting mat so I don't get any glue or anything on my cutting mat while I'm putting together the tassel. Right, so that's all the tools you're going to need. Go ahead and cut out your fabric using your template. You're also going to need to cut out a little strip of vinyl for the top of your tassel. This little strip measures 2.5 by 1/4 inch. So you can eyeball it if you want. Just make sure you cut out a small little piece so you can use this. And this is what I attach to my key ring. And then we'll start to put together our tassel. So now that you have your pattern piece cut, I also cut out a little strip, and this strip is about 2.5 inches long and 1/4 inch wide. We're going to put that in the top of our tassel. So if you're going to add a key ring or D-ring or anything like that, you want to go ahead and cut out that little strip. But if you're using a tassel cap, you won't need this little strip. All right, so I'm going to set this little strip aside. So what I like to do on the wrong side of your piece, take a ruler and measure down about 1/2 inch. All right, once you've measured down 1/2 inch, go ahead and take a marking pen and just mark that 1/2 inch spot. Now, it's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use scissors. I like to use my rotary cutter, and also use this small ruler that I got from Walmart. So this is about a 4x4, I believe this is. So I like to use this small ruler that I got from Walmart to do this. And if you look at the ruler, it has just little tiny 1/4 inch measurements on it. So I just use that as I cut my fringe pieces. All right, or you can just eyeball it. So what you do, you just place your ruler, and you want to place it, you want the top of the ruler to be at the bottom of that 1/2 inch line that you just drew out. You just take your rotary cutter and just cut your strips of fringe. Try to remain as straight as possible. I know sometimes the tassel piece moves or shifts, but try to keep that in place, and also try to keep your ruler as straight as possible and your cuts. And get as close to that line as you can. It's okay if some strips are bigger or smaller than others. And you see my piece is shifting a little bit. So just straighten it back up as much as you can. Alright, once you have all of your fringes cut, now we're going to go ahead and start putting the tassel together. Alright, so what I've done, I just taped a piece of brown craft paper to my cutting mat because I didn't want any glue to get on my cutting mat. So go ahead and take your fringe that you just cut and just place it on your surface, whatever you put down to keep from getting glue on your work area. I'm going to take my glue and you can glue the little strip at the bottom just to kind of secure it in place so it won't move when you're rolling it together. Don't put it as close to the edge as I just did because it'll spill over, but you can put that together with some glue. Right, just to kind of hold it in place. So what I do, don't start directly on the edge. Start a little bit away from the edge. And you just want to put a little bit of glue. Right? And I just take my little strip and I start at the edge and I'm just folding it over. And as you fold it over, just continue to put your glue. You don't want to put too much glue, but then you want to make sure you have enough as well. And just take your time and just continue to roll your tassel. Make sure you keep an eye at the top to make sure it's not shifting. And again, be careful with the glue as you come towards the end, because as you're rolling it, the glue that you put down will continue to spread. So just keep a watch out for that as you get to the end of your tassel. Make sure you put enough glue to secure this end in place. If you're not putting a tassel cap or anything like that, you want to make sure that it stays secure and stays in place. One thing that you can do is cut a strip that is a 1/2 inch wide, and that will fit around the width of your tassel. And you can actually put like I call it a casing, that's probably not what you call it, but a casing around this part of it. And you can make that a different color if you want to. Give that a different decorative element to your tassel. Right? So I just kind of hold it in place. And then what I do, I just place it down on that edge, that last edge there, the end. I just place it down on the end. I make sure I have enough glue on it. And I just lay it down on that end. And you can put something heavy on it, like a book or something like that. And I just like to let mine sit for an hour or two, just until the glue has a chance to dry and everything is properly glued together. All right. If you don't need anything heavy on it, if it lays by itself, you can just let it lay by itself there. But I like to put something heavy on it, just to make sure. I don't have a book or anything around right now, so I'm just gonna put my tape dispenser on it. All right. But once your tassel is, once the glue is dry and everything is secured in place, you'll be done with your tassel. All you would have to do is just take like a key ring and place it around the little loop, right? And once everything is dry, your tassel is all done. So that is it. You now have a quick and easy tassel that you can add to a purse, a wristlet, or anything just to add a little embellishment to it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.